name's Kristina Stephenson. I write and illustrate children's books, and I'd like to read one of them to you today. It's called Why Are There So Many Books About Bears? And I'd like you to help me tell this story. In the story, somebody keeps knocking at the door, and I'd like you to do the knocking, but not like this. I'd like you to actually say, knockety, knockety, knock. And you'll hear a special bit of music which will tell you when to do it. It'll go something like this. Knockety, knockety, knock. Should we try that again? Knockety, knockety, knock. Fantastic. But we don't actually want to be disturbed in this story, so we don't really want to have to open the door. So I'm going to just pop outside and hang up a sign to make sure nobody does disturb us. It says, do not disturb. So don't go away. Hang on where you are. I'll be back in a second. Are you still there? Good, I'm glad you didn't go away. Are you ready for the story? Why are there so many books about bears? By me, Kristina Stephenson. In the great hallowed hall of Mollusk College, Oxford, the most brilliant minds in the animal kingdom and Trevor had come together to discuss, debate, and generally decide if they could answer the impossible question. Why are there so many books about bears? Might I suggest, said William Snakespeare, who was very good with words, that the answer lies in the name. Bear is an excellent word for rhyming. Bear rhymes with hair, scare, beware, take care. It even rhymes with underwear. Everybody nodded. I think we have the answer, they said. Stuff and nonsense, cried Albert Swinestein, who was exceptionally good at thinking. I've never heard anything quite so illogical. Pig is a good word for rhyming too, but there aren't nearly as many books about pigs as there are about bears. William Snakespeare hissed and huffed, but the clever pig was right. I propose, said Albert Swinestein, the answer must be knockety, knockety, knock. Tea trolley, said the knockety knocker with a cheery little cry. Read the sign, said the animals gruffly. It says, do not disturb. So the tea trolley went away. Now then, where was I? Oinked Albert Swinestein. Ah, yes, the impossible question. I propose, the pig repeated, the answer must be size. Bears can be big, bears can be small, bears can be in the middle. Silly theory, said the PhDs. That's porcupines, hedgehogs, and dragons with spines. We come in different sizes too, but where are the books about us? Oh, but you're prickly, piped up Newton, who was ever so good at ideas. Bears are soft, and that, my friends, is the answer to the impossible question. Albert Swinestein patted Newton firmly on the back. "Brilliant theory, old chap," said the pig. "These scientists are never wrong." "Well, you are this time," said Mary Shelley, who knew a lot about writing. "The answer to the impossible question has nothing to do with science. There are so many bears in books because..." Knockety, knockety, knock. "I've got some chocolate cake on my trolley," said the knockety knocker. "It'll go well with a nice cup of tea." "Read the sign," said the animals gruffly. So the tea trolley went away again. "Will you please listen?" said Mary Shelley, who didn't like being interrupted. "As I was saying, the answer to the impossible question has nothing to do with science. There are so many bears in books because people put them there. Think about it. Bears are a lot like people, and people are a lot like bears." "Rubbish!" shouted the PhDs. "People don't have fur." "Oh, don't be difficult," said Mary Shelley. "You know very well what I mean." "Well, if I'm not right, and neither am I, and everyone thinks I'm wrong, then what is the answer to the impossible question?" Knockety, knockety, knock. "I've checked my trolley," said the knockety knocker, "and I've even got sticky buns." "Ah!" roared the animals. "Why won't you listen? We told you to read the sign. We don't want tea, we don't want cake, and we don't want sticky buns. We just want the answer to the impossible question. So, unless you have it on your trolley, will you please go away?" At this point, Trevor, remember him? Dropped the book he was reading. "That's enough," he shouted at the top of his tiny voice. "There's no need to be so rude. Might I suggest that tea and cakes and sticky buns are precisely what you need, because the answer to the impossible question is right behind that door." Shall we open the door and see? He's so cute. He's adorable. And bears are adorable. So that's the answer to the impossible question. In the great hallowed hall of Mollusk College, Oxford, the most brilliant minds in the animal kingdom, and Trevor, stopped discussing, stopped debating, and all had tea. Until Excuse me, said the bear, whose name was Darwin. Could anybody tell me why are there so many books about dinosaurs? The end. Did you enjoy that? If you did, why don't you have a go at writing your own story? And you could call it, Why Are There So Many Books About Dinosaurs?